For some reason, the words the Nollywood Live podcast is a tongue twister for me. I don't understand why. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Nollywood Live podcast, the show where we delve into the life and struggles of filmmakers and content creators in Nigeria, particularly the ones that have not blown. I'm your host, Kevin T. Solomon. And first, I would like to say something, and it goes thus. I kind of think that I need to change the opening monologue or intro, I don't know what to call it, that describes the show, because eventually I'm going to have guests on the podcast, and some of them would not be particularly struggling actors in the sense that they're trying to blow. Some of them might have blown relatively, and it would not make sense or be appropriate to say particularly the people that haven't blown and have a blown person on the podcast. So I want to change it. I'm going to change it to okay, so the target audience generally for this podcast is not particularly people that haven't blown, but essentially young actors, filmmakers, and content creators that are young actors and filmmakers and content creators. Gen Z, pretty much, yes. You know what? I'm going to call it, it's the Gen Z podcast. The Gen Z Nollywood podcast. We'll workshop the title. I'll think about a better description. But it's for Gen Z filmmakers that just want to talk about their life. For now, it's just me. But if anybody wants to talk, shoot me a DM or something and work something out. Probably even, I don't know what I was going to say. But yeah, I'll probably expand and have more guests. And it won't be just me talking to myself. It'll be me and somebody else talking to each other and talking to nobody else, because this one looks kind of crazy. I mean, if you can be right here as I'm recording this and you're watching me, you would think that something's wrong in my head. But anyway, we'll workshop on the description, taglines, and expansion of the podcast later. Today, we are going to talk about Twitter, not even Nollywood. Actually, we're going to talk about film editing, but on Twitter. And this is the reason why. I made a tweet last week. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? Let me check. September 24th, last week. I made a tweet last week talking about how I think people are ritualists. I think filmmakers are ritualists if they believe that a film can be edited, cut, colored, mixed, and ready for release in under a month. Let me just read the tweet. I said, any filmmaker that believes a movie can be edited, graded, mixed, exported, and ready for release in under a month has to be a ritualist. Ritualist being, I'm not trying to insult anybody, but you know how Nigerians are when we say someone believing in or doing something that we just think is crazy and impossible and it's not even something that anyone's supposed to think about, we say, you're a ritualist. So yeah, that was the point of the joke there. But in all sincerity, I actually meant what I said there. And this tweet got a lot of mixed reactions, to my surprise. Almost 75,000 views. I've never gotten that much views on a Twitter post for something that I didn't really see as a big deal like that. But apparently it was for some people. And for some of the people, a lot of the people actually, thought that I was talking about short films, because I kept seeing comments that about you should see so and so film. They mentioned some films. I think somebody made a comment and mentioned a short film that was on Ebony Live. I think he made it, and it's a good film, don't get me wrong, but it was a short film, and I had to reply. I was like, I wasn't talking about a short film. And I was like, then you needed to have been more specific, because it is possible you can make a film and shoot it. You can even write, shoot, and edit and have ready for release in under a month. But I guess that comes from the ambiguity. Is that the word? How ambiguous my original tweet was, because I said film. I said movie. And apparently, a short film can be classified as a movie, even though a short film is a short film, not a movie, at least in my opinion, because a movie, my definition of a movie would be a 1 hour to 3 hours feature length film. If it's not up to 40 minutes, it's a short film. I don't care what anybody thinks about that. And if it has episodes, it's a series. It's not a movie, it's a series. But they're all film. Short film series, movies, they're all film. I think film can be the catch-all phrase. I made a tweet about that too. I said, yeah, a film can just be what you can use to describe a motion picture. But the punchline is, I was talking about a feature-length movie when I made that tweet. Now, for those that got it and got that I was talking about a feature-length film, mentioned Ruth Kadiri and Ruth Kadiri. I don't know. I said Kadiri. Ruth Kadiri. Big respect to her. She's doing an amazing job. I would actually love to work on a set one day as an actor. I actually admire her. What's the word? I hate whenever English fails me, whenever I'm trying to like say something that I think is impactful or meaningful. I like her drive. I like Ruth's drive. So yeah, I'm not trying to disrespect her or anybody else, because I'm not trying to make enemies right now. I'm trying to make very good friends that can elevate me to the next level. Anyway, so people mentioned Ruth Kadiri and a couple of other YouTube filmmakers, and some people mentioned Asaba filmmakers, who are the particular people I was talking about when I made that tweet. But it wasn't them exactly. It was really just everyone that does it, because apparently people do it where they shoot a film, probably even write it, but then edit it, color it, and mix it poorly, and the whole thing is ready for release in under a month. And I'm like, well, no wonder this film doesn't have this great quality, because the kind of quality you would really want from a movie, I don't think you can get all of that done in under a month. I don't think any of the greatest, from The Black Book to Brotherhood, The Origin Madame Koi Koi, any of these films, I know about The Origin Madame Koi Koi specifically, but like any of these other films, I don't think they shot and did everything and the film was ready in under a month. You can't get that kind of quality under a month. There's no magic you want to do. It's not possible. Unless you want to make... oh my god, I probably not going to get a job after this. Unless you want to make some quick YouTube movie, sharp, no Foley or sound designs, no careful or particular sound design. You just slap some music, put some audio, boom. The video is just cut. The color grade is just one lot you found online. Just put it there and let the film come out. Let people just watch it. Unless that is the plan, you can't do a great film in 1 month, under a month. And that is what I was getting at. And the reason why I said that is because I got approached as an editor to do a film. We're still working on timeline, schedule, budget, all that stuff, yeah. But the one thing that caught me off guard was it's a feature-length movie, or at least it's supposed to be, from what I understand from the meeting. But they want the whole thing done in 12 days. Now, typically, at least for my own process, 12 days is first cut. It's the time for first cut, minimum or maybe maximum. That's first cut period before we can go through, okay, let's change this, let's remove this shot, move this scene, do some this and that for like another week, depending on how fast they are and the kind of film it is, before you can now start moving to grading, visual effects, and then sound design, because we all know these things. It's supposed to be a good film, yeah? But then it seemed to me that they wanted this whole thing, mixing color, cuts, and everything in 12 days. And I was shocked. I was like, that's what they do for you? And they were like, it's YouTube. And I'm like, even though it's YouTube, and there's this thing in the YouTube market where everyone needs to be constantly trying out movies, and it works for them. I think it's a system that they've built and it works. I'm not trying to disrespect that, but I don't think everyone is like that, at least not for the kind of quality of the films that we want to bring out. And I think people conflict the fact that because the film is going to YouTube, you don't need to put too much attention into things like that. You're supposed to be able to bring out the film as fast as you possibly can. But I personally am a firm believer in the fact that if you want to do something, at least do it well. And I'm going to be really straight with everyone. And I know how this is going to affect me in the long run, but I just have to say, I feel like I have to say, the YouTube community is not there yet as far as I'm concerned in terms of quality. The only, should I call them studio? Let's just call them studios. I don't know what we can call them because they're not really studios. They're just individuals or entities, whatever. The only people that I think are crushing it in terms of like pulling out the best quality, at least you can see the effort, is Showdeck. You guys really check them out, actually. I would love to work on a Showdeck film. This is me shooting my shot. Showdeck, Mr. Taiwo, cast me. But yeah, Showdeck is the only YouTube channel I think, for right now, for me at least, that is doing their best to bring out like the best quality. I don't know how quick they move from wrapping production to editing and then ready for release, but at least it looks like they're putting in the effort. And that's what I meant. That is really what I meant. Because, I don't know, maybe it's just me, and maybe I still have a lot of things to learn. But I don't think that is a conducive way to treat a film if you really want the best out of your story. That is really all I meant. I guess this podcast episode is really just me clearing the air on that tweet, but people weren't having it, apparently. Even ABSwa wanted to bite my head off somehow. I mean, he was just probably being intellectually him and just responding to the tweet based on what he thinks. And I told him to not stress. I told him to stop stressing me, please. I'm not trying to like think deep. It's not it's not exactly a deep tweet per se. But I mean, obviously, I actually encouraged the rebuttals, and it's good to, and I think it's healthy to disagree with people. The problem is that on this app called Twitter, that we now call X, it's a very scary place to talk about what you think about something, because there's always going to be someone who doesn't agree and is not going to be respectful about how they convey their disagreement with you on what you say. Because I believe that two people can disagree and still respect each other, because that's not the only thing that exists in this planet. You can't use just one thing to start creating enemies among yourself. Just, I agree. I get what you mean, but I don't agree with you, Shao. But this is why I think it should be this way. And if you think, unless it's something objectively outrageous and extreme, like, you shouldn't have to fight everyone because you don't agree with something that they agree with. But I'm not here to talk about argument and disagreement on Twitter. I'm just here to talk about what I really meant about that tweet, because I ran out of content ideas for this podcast, and I thought this episode would be the best opportunity to talk about something, because I have to talk about something. I haven't talked about anything in 2 weeks. That's a lot of weeks in content creator time. That's like years. So, yeah. Anyway, I believe that is all I have to say about that. Now I want to talk about something else, which is this t-shirt that I'm wearing. That's too bad for you guys that are listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or anywhere else you get a podcast, instead of watching this on YouTube, because you will see that I'm wearing a fine shirt. I mean, it's pretty. It's yellow. And what is on it is hybrid, the Chartreuse, which I don't know if that is how to pronounce this word. Chartreuse. The word CHARTREUSE. Chartreuse. I see, no one's stressing me. Chartreuse. I don't even know why they record this film, this kind of thing. I don't know who's going to be able to pronounce this thing. Hybrid, the Chartreuse, which I starred in it. I had a few scenes, and yeah, it's a short film. It's supposed to be a sci-fi superhero kind of film, kids with powers, superpowers, all that stuff. It is produced by Ayodele Obina and his studio, Ayozi's studio. So you guys can check them out on YouTube at Ayozi Studio. I'll leave them linked in the description. And yeah, so it's a short film, witches and wizard, superpowers and speedsters, and all that stuff. And yeah, just trying to rep the brand, I guess. but I really didn't know what shirt to wear today and decided to wear this one. But they sent this to me along with a couple of other stuff, which I kind of think they didn't need to. God, how did I say that well? I don't think they needed to, but they did, and it's appreciated. But what I'm thinking now is if they can do this, then they're gonna go all out for a feature film, on a bigger budget. But yeah, Hybrid the Charter's Witch is coming in October 11th on YouTube. So you guys should go and subscribe to the channel and anticipate. I actually believe in this studio because they're doing something different. And yeah, nobody really makes films or tells stories about superheroes and gods from Nigeria. Every single superhero or god of some sort is from the West. Superman, Spider-Man, Batman, Flash, Zeus, all of them. And so I think it's going to be cool. It's interesting. The script was interesting, even though I didn't have too much scenes, because I don't know why I talk about films where I don't have too many scenes in it like that. I have scenes. Just go and watch it, okay? It also shows that I'm not very bothered. I just like to talk about what I did, no matter how small it is, and appreciate it. So you guys should go check it out. I don't know if the trailer is out yet, and I don't even know if I'm supposed to be doing this yet. But right now, as of the recording of this, I should be able to release this episode. So if you're seeing this, then it's probably okay for me to be talking about it. So yeah, I'm talking about it. Hybrid the Charter's Witch. October 11th. October 11th is on what day exactly? Let me check. 11th is on a Friday, so next week Friday, not this Friday, next week Friday. Yeah, that's pretty much it. God, I need to calm down when I'm speaking. But at least you guys understand what I'm saying, and that's the important thing. If you don't know what I'm saying, then I'm sorry, I can't help you. I don't know what to do for you. But anyway, that comes to the end of today's episode. So thank you guys for taking 20 minutes out of your life. Has it been up to 20 minutes already? 17 minutes about. Thank you so much for taking about 20 minutes out of your life to listen to or watch this podcast. It means a lot. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. It means a lot. Let's get to 1,000 subs. I know it's possible. We're barely up to 100 subs right now, but it's very possible. Share the stream, share the podcast, share the YouTube link especially. Tell your friends to come and listen to it, even though they cannot relate. Even if they don't relate, they should just watch it. Watch this awkward guy talk about things that he probably doesn't understand, but he's talking about it anyway because that's his own experience. And yeah, share the podcast. I'm just rambling at this point, but thank you guys for watching. And if you want me to talk about something else, my DMs across all social media platforms, I believe, is open. So send me a DM. Get straight to the point. Don't tell me hi and just wait for me to reply. Hi, love your podcast. This is what I want to talk about next. Would you mind talking about it? And I'll see if I can get to it. I will have to find out if the content of the topic that you wish for me to talk about contains information about things that I can't divulge or can divulge. And I'll see if I can talk about them. But yeah, it's up to the channel again. And follow me everywhere else on Instagram, Twitter, or X, Snapchat, because I post on Snapchat. And everywhere else at Kevin T. Solomon, KEVINTSOLOMON. There's no L in Kevin, because till tomorrow, that's still going to be an issue of mine. But I'll continue to fight. Kevin T. Solomon across all social media platforms. Follow the Instagram, follow everywhere else. I have a couple of other things in the works. I'm not going to tell you what they are. But as new information becomes available, I will share them if I'm allowed to. But that will be all. Thank you guys again for watching this video and listening to this podcast, whichever one you did. Thanks a lot. Just listening to me speak for 20 minutes alone, safe. You tried.